Aloha, welcome to my capstone presentation on Empire Education. In other words, my learning center education lecture. My name is Kelohi Learning Leleo, and I am going on to be third year soon to teach at Bonnet High School through mathematics. During this program I'm joining right now, I was a math intermediate teacher teaching 8th grade mathematics. Now, throughout this presentation, here are some pit stops that we'll be making through this grand adventure, where we're gonna go through some old habits and what we learned into how we apply those lessons. And what our hopes is to be as we moving forward. And some final reflections. To kick it off, here's this quote by Shubhantala Devi. Why do children judge math? Because of the wrong, because it looked at as a subject. Honestly, this is so true. Math, as myself too, as I'm getting this, was only seen as a subject where we had to do worksheets. We only had to do tests and quizzes, where it was all about repetition, memorization, and other this procedural learning. It was barely a time to be creative, barely a time where we really could use our time and feel like we were connected to math. I even heard teachers, as amongst myself, as an educator, fell through this rabbit hole of students only learn through continuous worksheets and repetition. Now, there'll be some times where there is a project, but that was rare. And the project wouldn't be as realistic as we hoped to be. Now, when I went through this project, through this program as well, I learned that I've learned completely two main lessons. And those are the lessons tomorrow, which I took to today. So let's ride the wave. So lesson number one, I started to learn that math classrooms and schools have the ability to foster relationships, making math more personal. I do that is I encourage collaboration and celebration amongst students, as well as all of their accomplishments and failures. I do my best to provide opportunities for personalized interactions between myself and them, as well as create a supportive and inclusive environment that allows student input and encourages them to actively participate in any math-related discussion. I mentioned my goal is to continue making sure that small spaces in school and math classrooms are where students can build a safe space for a while. How I had to do that though was through ensuring that my students knew how the process felt like and looked like. Understand their mindset by getting their feedback, and also to every single quarter grow through their feedback and understand where they're at when it comes to that. And how I did that was also collaborating through the goals to achieve excellence through an intermediate, as well as ensure that the sense of belonging, responsibility, excellence, aloha, total well-being, and Hawaii was within my classroom to connect to the state of Hawaii DOE. Now, the first thing I had to do on the first day, though, was I had to build a community. And how I did that was have my students choose the values that they want through their classrooms. And actually, the students chose this. Through that, they got to understand what excellence looks like to them and how we could develop it through math. Since then, they continue to grow and collaborate together on creating games, creating fun to ensure that math was not this repetition based. And actually, this was a game that they created on their own. Lesson number two, I had to teach them what it means to transform their mindsets and ensure that they are there's a promotion in equity in education. How we did that was I had to encourage my students that although they have mistakes, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. And also too that even though they go through challenges in math, they may not understand everything. Let's just have a positive attitude towards it. I had to also teach them problem solving skills, which was something that's really turned back because my students had to learn what it meant to persevere and realize that they're creative way more smart. And also help them to critically think and not just look at but look amongst each other and other resources. And ensure that they have the tools and necessities to succeed. And through that, I had to teach them that math isn't everything. So that's why you should not be hating. And actually, that actually goes into our mindset right here. The, the self reflection of what it was like before they entered my class started right here. So, student A and B started to not like math. Math meant work, and math meant it was very difficult. Now, as we moved forward, the same students started to see that math is actually so much more than just work. It actually meant that we can do real life skills to do math. And it takes math to be in everything to create a lot of things. The most important thing though is that they both felt safe. That math was not being in place where they felt dumb or stupid. And that their relationship with math actually improved because of it. Now here are some examples that they did to ensure that they improved in math. They got to create their own lesson plans with each other. They collaborated together to create different lesson plans based on what they knew, based on what their own knowledge, or what how they would teach class. And then when it came to our last unit, they used what they know about streets and what they knew about angles and created their own city and used their own creativity to create it. And a couple of the things that we did was I had to teach them amongst what it was like to be in Hawaii and teach math through my own book that I sort of wrote that's still in the draft. Decided it's okay to make mistakes. Here's some important work that they did. And what I would like to start building on top of it. Now, my hope for through this is that the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. In other words, and thanks to Sydney J. Harris for saying this, because to that point, we as stakeholders, whether you're a teacher, an admin, parent, a coach, or department head, or supporting staff, students, we have to ensure that we all have our part to play in our education. It is not about, oh, it's not this stacking, it's this collaboration. It's not about, oh, I'm higher than you. No, everybody took a piece of their pie, put it together, and how can we have this simultaneous cycle of great education? Now, that's going to take a lot of communication amongst them and continue to realize that there needs to be some kind of support and feedback. And how we do that is for teachers. We need to ensure that they have the tools and guidance that they need, especially for first year teachers. Have some kind of mentorship, and also for veteran teachers, ensure that they can do coaching, that they can have opportunities to help build somebody up and not just feel stagnant in their positions. And also to make sure that the professional developments are not just something that is towards veterans and not just towards new teachers, but somebody also, and also to ensure that everybody has initiative support, that the workload and curriculum development is great for meaningful learning experiences, not just for worksheets and tests. And also to make sure everybody feels acknowledged and feel that they're in a positive workspace, especially for students too. If we can build our teachers, we can build our students. So that way they're learning personalized, they can have project-based learning, feedback and support to support all their needs, including social and emotional, as well as appreciate and recognize their achievements, their efforts, who they are, and ensure that there is a positive community. And here are just some other supports to ensure that to happen. There are assessments, teachers development, and a couple other things. Now here's a fun one. Through my time in minor intermediate, I hope to take the skills of building my students and building my classroom and learning culture and doing my best to bring that into the classroom and ensuring that my students and myself have a growth mindset and that our norms are all about learning, not just performing, not just doing my best. And just continue to show all that I learned and apply them even more into what I see. I hope to take it to my high students and show that math is beyond the classroom. It is more realistic, more real. When we see what we know, what we learn, and all our skills together. And so I just want to say thank you for listening and have a great day.